Welcome to Atlanta Jewish News. This is Marcy Levinson Brooks, and we have with us today Lynda Walker and Lynda Selig, and they're going to speak to us about a new project on which they're working, Jews in Baseball, an American Love Story. The two Lyndas are the MIH team, and if you could give us a little bit of background on what the MIH team is.
Yes, the MIH team is a company that we started about 3.5 years ago, and we do project development. MIH stands for We Make It Happen, and we do make it happen for companies and nonprofits. When they have projects that they need done, we can create the project, we can create it and do it with them, or we can do it for them, whatever their choice is. And we're excited because every day we have a new project that we're working on, and we have lots of new ideas, very creative, and that's what people like about us. Much of our projects are about relationship building. And that's a real strength that we've had, that we've learned together in our work over the last 20 years together in the community.
I think one of the things that we love about the business is that we're not in just one niche, that we have a variety of projects. Each one is a challenge that requires some creativity and a new approach, and it's very exciting each time to figure out what is the strategy and how are we going to get there and make it happen.
Now, are you guys a nonprofit organization, or do you work with nonprofits specifically for these projects?
We are a for-profit, not a nonprofit. We work with nonprofits as well as corporates.
Tell us, if you could, about the latest project, Jews in Baseball. Now, we all have heard the jokes about, what, there are Jews in baseball, or this is going to be a 3-minute movie. No, this isn't going to be a 3-minute movie. There are plenty of Jews in baseball, past and present. So you guys have a lot of information to share that will, again, be part of this full-length documentary. It's a 90-minute documentary that will be out in the spring. So tell us a little bit about Jews in Baseball.
Well, we are absolutely thrilled to be involved with this project because what we really love about it, not only have Jewish players and owners and managers made an indelible mark on the game of baseball through the years. It's wonderful. We have some wonderful people that will be highlighted in the film. But more important than that, it's really part of the story of the Jewish community becoming a part of the American dream and the American experience. And there are so many wonderful messages of connection and of generation to generation. Baseball is one of the things where people have shared with their grandparents and their parents, and their memories are so warm. It is a very non-threatening way to be able to reach out to people in the general community who have maybe not attached to the Jewish community yet. Maybe they're intimidated by some of it. It's a very non-threatening, positive, inspiring way to reach out and say, be a part of this. Remember how things were when you were a child. Remember going to the game with your grandpa and how much that meant to you. And so it's a wonderful entree to many people who have not yet connected with the community. That's what we really love about it. And the second thing we love is, at a time when the news is so serious and we're dealing with so many problems, this is really an uplifting story and an inspiring story, and we love the positive energy that it creates.
The other thing that we love about the project is the partnership that we have with the National JCCA Association, the Jewish Community Center Association of North America. When the film is finished and after it airs on PBS, the JCCs are going to receive a gift. The producers and director want to give this film to all of the JCCs to use around the country. There are over 350 institutions, camps and youth groups and ball teams, cultural arts programs, all kinds of activities where this film can be used by the JCCAs. And of course, then it'll go to the film festivals. So the world community is really going to see this, and it's going to be a piece for the Jewish community to be so proud of.
One of the things that we were excited about from the beginning is this project is really a not-for-profit venture. And it's really a labor of love. So the passion that our production team has for baseball and for the Jewish community really comes together in a very beautiful way. And they wanted to make this, they wanted to make this statement, and then they wanted to give it to the community, which we loved.
So the film is not for profit. In other words, we're raising the money, but it's not an investment, it's a charitable contribution that people in the community who love baseball and love film and love the Jewish community, it's a fabulous combination for people to really stand up and say, this is a mark for the legacy of the Jewish community in the future, and we can give a gift that will be lasting, a one-time gift for a film that will be lasting forever. And many of the people's names who are the sponsors and the donors will be in the credits of the film, and that's sort of exciting when you see the film on the big screen and you see your name as having supported this.
That is very cool that people will see their names in the credit. Are you still accepting donations for this film, and how can people make those donations?
Absolutely, we are. Donations are actually made payable to WETA Public Television because they are the PBS station that's sponsoring, the fiscal sponsor for this movie. And it's totally tax deductible, and they do it through the MIH team. And they can contact us anytime that they want to be supportive of this wonderful film.
Yes, there's a website, www.jewsandbaseball.com, that you can go to for information as well.
The Jews in Baseball will be a very inspirational, motivational tool for any young people. It just shows you can have the American dream, you can be anything you want to be, regardless of whether you're a minority and what you look like and how you've grown up and what your culture is, that if you have a dream, you can make it happen.
I have a really strong memory as a young girl. I didn't know a thing about baseball, but I knew that Sandy Koufax didn't play on Yom Kippur. And that meant a lot to me. You know, as a young Jewish girl, I was so proud of that fact. I knew it was important that he didn't do that, and it was a very important thing around our dinner table and our friends' dinner tables, and it was really a point of pride for us.
Thank you, Lynda. Who are we going to see in this film? Because we talk about Jews in baseball, and we've already pumped it up. There are a lot of Jews in baseball. Who did y'all get to speak on camera, and not only baseball players or other members of baseball organizations, but rabbis as well?
Yes, there's some wonderful baseball players or people associated with baseball. The rabbis that are in it, one is Rabbi Michael Paley. He actually works for New York United Jewish Communities, but he's a huge baseball fan and knows everything about baseball and about Judaism, and it's a beautiful combination. And then there's another rabbi, Rabbi Rebecca Alpert, who is at Temple University in Pennsylvania, and she teaches a sports class. So she also speaks about it and loves baseball. In addition to that, we have people like Sandy Koufax, as we mentioned, who is really sort of one of the first interviews he's given in many, many years. And some of the old players like Norm Sherry and Al Rosen. And then some of the recent players. Sean Green has a wonderful little message with some young people in it. And then we have some non-Jewish people. Yogi Berra, Ron Howard, who's a huge baseball fan, is in it.
So with a great cast of characters in their everyday lives, their everyday selves, they're talking about baseball. With Sandy Koufax, it is interesting that he did the interview with y'all because it's been so many years, and people know his name, but they don't know where he is or what he's doing. And how did he receive the idea? How was the interview with him and kind of his response and reception?
Interestingly enough, it's a great story, and I have to start with the production team, because the production team for this film is really outstanding. Our writer is a person by the name of Ira Burkow, who was the sports writer for the New York Times for over 25 years and a Pulitzer Prize winner. And Ira really had wonderful connections. Our director, whose name is Peter Miller, has worked with Ken Burns, who's done outstanding award-winning work as well. This team really got together and surrounded themselves with only the top people. And when Sandy Koufax heard about the film, although he hasn't given an interview in really decades, he is almost reclusive. He really, his privacy is very important to him. When he heard about the film, he realized that this was going to be the film for the ages on this particular topic, and he realized it was very important for him to be a part of it. So we were thrilled to have him, and all the people who are really baseball sports fans and really know when they see him in the trailer for the film, they cannot believe that he is on film. It's very, very exciting, and we're thrilled to have it.
How hard has it been to raise money for a documentary?
We have $1 million budget, and when we started this, we wondered in these economic times how people would respond. But it's really been amazing when people love baseball and love Judaism and understand the combination and how meaningful this story is. not just a story about baseball, but a story about immigration and fighting anti-Semitism and prejudice and bigotry. They really have stepped up